back, everybody, to Fire Talk, another edition. I'm Ken Ingle, president of Southeastern University, joined by Director of Athletics, Drew Watson. And what a weekend we just had here.
I'm telling you, that
campus.
may have been one of the best homecomings we've ever had. Perfect weather, great crowds, and just an unbelievable amount of energy across campus.
Yeah, absolutely. From Market Day and the golf cart parade to the rally on Destino Field and Saturday's tailgate, the community really showed up.
Yeah.
You could feel that sense of connection everywhere, so it was great.
Yeah,
great
and
weekend.
Victory Field on Saturday, that was something special. Alumni, families, students, everybody came out in force, and the whole place was really rocking.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was a celebration of who we are at SEU, a lot about faith, family, and community all wrapped into one weekend.
Yeah, now that homecoming is in the books. Very busy weekend last weekend. I know you were probably here for hours and hours, over the homecoming reception, alumni reception, all that. But now that that's in the books, let's not waste any time because we have another huge week ahead across Fire Athletics.
Yeah, we really do. This Saturday, SEU is hosting 2 NAI national tournaments right here on campus.
Yeah, Fire Nation, get ready. SEU Football is hosting Reinhardt in the first round of the NAI Football Championship Series. And SEU Women's Soccer is hosting Lindsey Wilson in the second round of the NAI National Championship. 2 postseason events, same day, same campus. Really doesn't get much better than that.
No, it doesn't. But let's start with football because that's a major milestone for this program. The Fire coming off that 24-0 shutout off Ave Maria on homecoming night, pushing them to 8-2, and that win locked up the number 14 seed in the national field.
Yeah, it was exciting on Sunday when the team learned it was in the field, and then hosting a game this weekend. Let's take a look at their reaction.
The next game in the 2025 Football Championship Series.
So it popped up Lakeland there, and they were fired up. They've certainly done a lot of work, and this is big. SEU will host a home playoff game for the first time in school history. That is something the program has been building towards for years. And what adds to the excitement is that rematch of our home opener from September 13th when SEU beat Reinhardt 41-20.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a strong performance. I mean, it was, thinking back on the game, it was pretty fast-paced, physical, really well executed on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, now Reinhardt is a proud program on a 6-game winning streak, so this is going to be a tough matchup. But there's confidence in that SEU locker room knowing they've already handled this team once.
Yeah, absolutely. And the atmosphere is going to be incredible, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fire Nation tickets are on sale now at SEUfire.com. You can grab seats anywhere in the stadium, and you can add VIP tent access for just $20. That gets you a spot in Destino lot for parking and food and Coca-Cola beverages in the third quarter until the third quarter. It's a perfect way to experience playoff football.
And actually, later in this show, we're going to be joined by Coach Waugh to talk about the matchup and how the team's approaching this first-round game.
And we'll also hear from Coach Kellar because Saturday night, women's soccer has their national tournament game, and this one is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. After sweeping both the Sun Conference regular season and tournament titles, the Fire earned the right to host Lindsey Wilson now in the second round on our campus.
And, Kent, you want to talk about postseason experience? Lindsey Wilson is a traditional NAI powerhouse. This will be a high-level match, and the winner advances to the final site in Pensacola. 1 win away from being among the last 16 teams standing.
And it's pretty remarkable how consistent, this SEU program has been. This is the 8th NAI tournament appearance for the Fire. 7th time they've actually hosted in the opening rounds.
Yeah, they're playing with such confidence right now. That gritty 1-0 win over St. Thomas in the conference semifinals, then taking down Kaiser in the title game. They've shown they can win big matches under pressure.
And Coach Kellar will also join us later to break down what's expected in this one and how the team is preparing for such a big stage.
So, Fire Nation, mark your calendars. Saturday is massive. Football playoff game at 1, women's soccer national tournament match at 6. 2 huge postseason events, both right here on campus.
And Drew, before we get to Saturday's national tournament doubleheader, we got some big-time basketball on campus this week.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Men's and women's basketball right in the middle of Sun Conference play. And we've got 2 home dates coming up starting tonight.
That's right. SEU hosts Coastal Georgia tonight inside the Furnace. Women tip off, I believe, at 5:30.
Yep.
Men follow at 7:30.
And then on Friday, a new date and time. We want to emphasize the Fire hosts St. Thomas at 5:30 and 7:30 as well. Those games were moved up from Saturday because of the playoff games. And that's a huge early season conference matchup for both teams.
Yeah, and let's start with the men. They're off to a terrific 4-1 start, and they opened up Sun Conference play with a gritty 65-60 win at Florida Memorial. That was on Saturday.
Yeah, and that was really a gut check win, down 32-25 at halftime, and then second half completely flipped thanks to Anthony Canal, who scored all 16 of his points after the break.
I mean, he was unstoppable down the stretch, and that's the kind of performance that changes momentum early in the season. You need it.
And let's give credit to Coach Welty. And I will add that that Anthony, when you come to the game sometimes, you're a free throw connoisseur.
Yes,
right.
You
Free throws are
better
big
be
time.
able to make your free throws.
Well, Anthony was 8 for 9 down the stretch, which really sealed that win. But Coach Welty made some great adjustments at halftime, and the team responded exactly the way you want to see on the road.
Yeah, and the women kept the momentum rolling as well. They had a 91-52 win at Florida Memorial. They're now actually 6-0 overall and 1-0 in Sun Conference play.
Yeah, and they're really doing it with balance and execution. Maya Herman and Grace Field combined for 44 points, and Grace had a huge personal milestone, a career point number 1,000.
Wow!
We had her on the show recently during
Right.
an 8 run. She hit that milestone during an 8-0 run to start the game.
And that's an impressive accomplishment. Grace has been such a steady, when you look at our roster, she's a reliable presence, and it's been great watching her step into this leadership role.
Absolutely. So, Fire fans, tonight and Friday, your chances to get inside the furnace before the big weekend. It's going to be an exciting couple of nights on the hardwood, leading to a massive Saturday here at SEU.
And Drew, speaking of big moments this week, before we hit the weekend, we've also got some Fire student athletes competing on the national stage.
We sure do. We sure do. On Friday, we'll have a strong SEU presence up in Tallahassee at the NAI Cross Country National Championship at Appalachia Regional Park.
I think that's one of the best cross-country venues in the country, right? So it's a pretty incredible stage for the runners.
Absolutely. We've got a great contingent representing SEU. On the women's side, Izzy Colbank, who was our guest a few weeks ago, and Jocelyn Armstrong will compete as individual qualifiers. Both earned top finishes at the Sun Conference Championship, and both have been so consistent all season long.
Yeah, I think it's kind of turning out if you appear on Fire Talk, it's good luck for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, when you speak of those players, they really have. Izzy has been near the front in every race, and Jocelyn's experience and steady racing have been a huge part of really the success of the program.
Yeah, it's incredible. And on the men's side, Jack Brooks punched his ticket as well. He finished third at the conference meet and has been one of the top performers in the region all season.
It's a big accomplishment for those three and for the entire cross-country program. Coach Kurtz has built really a strong culture of discipline and excellence, which we love. These are qualifiers that reflect that.
Yeah. So while basketball heats up at home and football and women's soccer gear up for the national tournament on Saturday, SU will also be represented at the national stage Friday morning in Tallahassee.
And again, the action doesn't stop there. Saturday is packed across the board even before we get to the football and women's soccer postseason games.
Yeah, it is. Let's start with wrestling because the number 2 Fire are back on the mat this Saturday at the Lucha Open, and they're coming off with a ton of momentum.
And they're fresh off another dominant performance, actually, last week. They had a 38-9 road win over Kaiser, and that was in West Palm Beach.
Yeah, at Kaiser, and it was close early. I think we like to give Kaiser the idea they have a chance. But that duel was impressive from start to finish, especially the way we finished. We won 8 of 10 bouts and piled up 6 bonus point results. The tempo, the pressure, the execution. They looked every bit like one of the best teams in the country.
And, of course, with that win, they're now 2-0 in the Appalachian Athletic Conference duels, continuing to position themselves near the top of the league standings.
Exactly. Coach Patrick's group is deep, experienced, and wrestling with a ton of confidence right now. The Lucha Open on Saturday will give a lot of guys more reps early this year and as they continue building towards the heart of the season.
Yeah, it's another great opportunity for that depth to shine, so looking forward to it.
Also Saturday, we've got the SEU Track and Field Open happening over at Tenor Rock High School, the official opener to the 25-26 season for track.
Always exciting to see that group kick off a new year. SEU Track and Field keeps growing. The talent level keeps rising. This opener is a great chance to see the new athletes, new event groups in action.
Yeah, so between wrestling, track, basketball, cross-country nationals, 2 national tournament games on campus, this is one of the busiest and most exciting weeks we've had in Fire Athletics this year. And I will say this, and we were talking about it before the show, it's the opening weekend of Thanksgiving break.
Right.
So students, if you could delay going home until Saturday night after that soccer match, man, that would be great for our teams.
No, it really would be. With everything happening across Fire Athletics this week, it really shows again how special this community is, the energy, support, and of course everybody's commitment to excellence in every program.
Yeah, for sure. And moments like this also remind us how important our partners are. These people and organizations who invest in our student athletes and help make all of these opportunities possible.
Absolutely. And their support elevates everything we do, from game day experiences to team travel to community engagement. We want to take a moment to recognize one of those incredible partners, Regal Automotive Group.
Yeah, Regal Automotive Group is your source for all things automotive in the Lakeland and Winter Haven area. A full-service dealer group offering an outstanding range of quality auto brands backed by exceptional customer service.
And they specialize in Chevrolet, GMC, Kia, Honda, Acura, and they are a proud partner of Fire Athletics. So when it's time for your next car, SUV, or pick up a truck, let's let Regal Automotive be your first choice.
We're grateful for their support and proud to have them as part of the Fire Athletics family.
We really appreciate Regal Automotive and all our partners who help make weeks like this possible. Their support means so much to all of our programs and especially to our student athletes.
And speaking of support, we've got two coaches with us today who are leading their teams into some of the biggest moments of the season. It's not every week you get a home playoff football game and a national tournament soccer match on the same day.
Yeah, pretty cool. So it's great to have football head coach Adam Waugh and women's soccer head coach Skelly Kellar to the show today. Thanks for being with us.
Coach,
Good to be here.
Great
Thanks for having us on.
Great to have you with us, you both with us. Thanks for taking the time during what's kind of a busy week, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, let's start, Coach Waugh, with you. Coming off that big homecoming shutout, now getting ready for a playoff rematch with Reinhardt. What's the energy been like around the program?
The kids are so excited. You know, we've talked about getting in the playoffs here for a couple of years, and we finally broke through this year, and the kids are just really excited. So we're trying to keep them on a consistent routine, not change a whole lot up this week for them because the excitement's there as it is. But, you know, our big push to them is let's not be content just getting to the playoffs. Let's get a win and make a run here. So that's what we're looking forward to do.
And Coach, you and your staff have talked all year about this team's growth mentally, physically, and culturally. What's the biggest difference you've seen from week one to now in this team?
You know, I think we've done just a really good job of coming together as a team. You know, we look for what we call our type of guy, and our type of guy is one that plays hard, is coachable, and puts the team first. And I think throughout the season, we've really come together as a team. The kids are playing so hard, and they're trusting their coaches to put them in the right positions to succeed. So they've just embraced everything we've asked them to do.
And I think I've said this to you before, but you know, I've been on the sidelines of Fire football for this. This is the 12th year now, and I don't know that I've heard the level of encouragement that goes on in your guys when moments turn poor. You know, I remember at Faulkner, you know, we had some rough plays up there, but instead of like, there's been years where I hear them yelling at each other. Like I hear guys going, remember who we are, remember who you are, you're better, let's go, encouraging them.
And that's really a credit to the coaching staff and the leaders of our team they're doing a good job keeping everybody together during those tough times because you're going to run into adversity in a football game every week. Yeah. So, you know, the leaders are doing a really nice job.
It's great.
And you've already played Reinhardt this season. You thumped them 41-20 back in September. How valuable is that film and that experience as you kind of prepare for this next game?
Well, I was telling somebody early today, you know, we played them 4 times in 3 years now. So there's really not a lot of secrets between the two teams. Yeah. And they're a physical team. They're an athletic team. So we know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. And but I told the guys this week, you know, just because we won in September, that doesn't guarantee anything in November. So hopefully we attack it with just a nice even keel approach and don't get too overconfident.
Yeah.
Coach Kellar, let's turn to you. Your team swept the Sun Conference, winning both the regular season and tournament championships. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now that you're preparing to host Lindsey Wilson in the national tournament, what's the mindset of this club going into it?
I think the girls have done a good job of just focusing on like whatever's right in front of us, you know. And so like right now that's Lindsey Wilson, and we know they're a good team. They've earned the right to be here, and so have we. You know, we're excited to be able to host. I think we're hard out at home. I think we're playing some of our best soccer lately, but I still think, you know, Brendan and we've been talking about how we think that like there's still another level that they can get to.
Yeah, that's great.
And you've played so consistent. The team's played so consistent all season long, especially on the defensive side. What's allowed, as you look back over the season, this group to perform at such a high level every single week?
Well, I think that they have a lot. Number one, we have a lot of seniors. You know, we have 13 or 14 seniors. And so, like, in the back line, you know, you have a lot of leadership between Abby Ripple, OT. We brought in a girl named Gianna, you know, Grace, and then we have Alva. You know, all 5 of those are all seniors. And so, like, and then add in, you know, Ramsey playing the defensive center mid. I think that's just a lot of leadership and a lot of just confidence, when they get out there, and they're just stepping up, they're communicating, they're doing really well.
That's good.
Well, Lindsey Wilson, as we mentioned earlier, is a storied program with a history of winning deep into the postseason. Being around you the past couple of weeks, I don't sense that you're intimidated by that. And I think that does rub off on players. That confidence. My coaches and confident. We need to be confident. So what are some of the keys you're focusing on when you get ready for the matchup?
I think a lot of it is just like, it's something we've talked about all year. Going into, when we played St. Thomas to win the regular season, when we played Kaiser at the end, a lot of it was just like, you have to be okay. You have to know, like, on the day you could lose, and you have to be okay with that. And so, like, just going into the game, not having any fear, and just like talking about like relying on your family, relying on your sisters, and just basically pressing on. Like, no matter what happens, you just never quit. You keep going, and you just keep fighting for your team.
Yeah,
well, it's going to be an incredible day for Fire Athletics, and of course, the word of the year, we talk about it a lot around here, is unleash. And now as you both step into postseason play with your teams and everything's on the line, has your perspective on that word changed, deepened at all? How are you seeing unleash show up in your teams right now?
Well, I would say that, we've talked to them about taking our play to another level into the postseason. And I think we really want to, we've done a good job during the season, but I think there's more out there that we can do. I think we can be a better team and play better ball. So I think in those terms, I think unleashing to our team right now is just to find that championship level, that next gear that'll let us advance in the playoffs.
I would say for us, we actually talked about it in the locker room. We talked about unleashing as in like kind of letting go. And I think the thing that the girls have done a really good job of is like kind of letting go of themselves and like playing for a team. And so like they've really done a good job of unleashing themselves and like trying to play for something that's bigger than themselves, for each other and for God and for, the school. So like it's been a great ride.
Absolutely. And it's exciting.
Well, besides the fact that you both coach football,
the real one.
The real one.
You have something else in common that I've observed. You care for your kids.
Yes.
You care for the student athletes at a deep level, and it is not a mistake that you've reached the point that you've reached this season because of you've got good players, but you're good coaches and you're investing in the kids. You're investing in the student athletes you have, and so we thank you for that. It's at another level, and it's fun to watch.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course.
Again, grateful for you to come on today, especially in the midst of what you're preparing for. And as we wrap up today's show, we want to remind everyone that excitement starts again well before Saturday. Yeah. So we've got a home basketball right here in the Furnace on Wednesday tonight, and then Friday with both the men's and women's teams looking to keep their conference momentum going.
Yeah, then on Saturday, obviously one of the biggest days we've ever had on campus, SEU Football hosting Reinhardt in the NAI Football Championship Series first round, followed by the nightcap, SEU Women's Soccer hosting Lindsey Wilson in the NAI National Tournament second round. 2 postseason games, both at home, both with massive stakes.
Yeah, and Fire Nation, we need you in the stands loud and proud all day long. So these student athletes have worked incredibly hard to earn these opportunities, and again, your support always makes a significant difference.
A big thank you again to Coach Waugh and Coach Kellar for joining us today, and to our sponsor, Regal Automotive, for supporting Fire Athletics and making shows like this possible.
And of course, thank you to everyone watching, listening today. We always appreciate you tuning in and being part of the Fire family.
This is going to be an incredible week. Can't wait to see you around campus and at all the games.
We'll see you next week on Fire Talk. Until then, go Fire.
Thanks, guys.